On the night of November 23rd, a 28-year-old man named James Michael Grimes fell off a cruise ship, the Carnival Valor, but managed to survive through a combination of luck and his own determination. U.S. Coast Guard Search and Rescue Mission Coordinator Lieutenant Seth Gross said that a whole bunch of factors worked out perfectly for Grimes' survival. Grimes was last seen around 11 p.m. and was reported missing the following day by his family. He told ABC's Good Morning America that he doesn't remember falling, only waking up in the ocean in the middle of the night. He had a couple of drinks but wasn't drunk. He spent the next 20 hours treading water, fending off jellyfish, and at least one finned creature he couldn't identify, trying to eat whatever floated by and maintaining energy. His endurance and determination helped him make it through the night and the next day, until night struck again. Finally, a passing ship spotted Grimes and notified the Coast Guard, which then rescued him. Lieutenant Seth Gross states that this is a miraculous survival, as to survive the fall, to be able to keep himself afloat, that no sharks ended up locating him, and then this motor vessel just happened to be in the right position, all worked to keep him alive until the team rescued him. This is a testimony to human will to survive, and how a combination of luck and determination can save a life. The top end of the survival limit. According to Gross, it's extremely rare for someone to survive in open water for as long as Grimes did. The Coast Guard has put a lot of effort into developing technology and training for search and rescue operations, so they have programs in place to estimate how long a person can survive without flotation devices or other forms of assistance. Gross stated that Grimes' survival was at the upper limit of what's considered possible. Grimes himself said that he always believed he would be rescued, and Gross believes that this positive attitude likely contributed to his ability to stay alive. He also noted that Grimes' will to survive, natural instinct, and efforts to self-preservation were not common and likely played a significant role in his survival. Kat Bigney, a survival expert who's been consulted for Bear Grylls and National Geographic, previously told Insider that simply keeping your cool in life-or-death situations could ultimately save you. The biggest thing that will kill you in a survival situation is to panic. Gross also highlighted that Grimes made wise decisions while he was in the water, such as stripping off his clothes to make himself more buoyant, and this may have helped him to avoid severe hypothermia. He was treated for shock, dehydration, and hypothermia, but he was able to be released in a matter of days. Gross added that the severity of hypothermia can depend on several factors, such as the person's body fat content, the time they last ate, and how comfortable they are in the water. He believes that whatever Grimes' particular circumstances were, they helped him avoid the worst of it. The Coast Guard rescuers. The rescuer, Richard Hoeffel, stated that Grimes had only a few moments of energy left when he was rescued. Had the rescue helicopter or the boat that spotted Grimes arrived just 10 or 15 minutes later, it's possible that Grimes wouldn't have survived. This successful rescue can be attributed to the Coast Guard's efficient search and rescue operations and their close relationship with the boating community. The cruise ship officials notified the Coast Guard of the man overboard situation around 14 hours after Grimes was last seen. The Coast Guard immediately launched a search and rescue mission and sent out a broadcast to alert other mariners in the Gulf of Mexico. Grimes was ultimately spotted by the crew aboard the bulk carrier vessel Carnival, who had been shouting and waving to get his attention. The helicopter was only about 6 miles away from the area where Grimes was spotted, which allowed them to reach him quickly and pull him out of the water. The Coast Guard uses a search and rescue optimal planning system, which uses 5,000 virtual rubber ducks to estimate where a floating object could be. This system considers factors such as the person's weight, clothing, body fat percentage, and whether or not they have a flotation device, and projects where they could potentially float in a specific amount of time. The highest concentration of rubber ducks is where the Coast Guard would search first. The system estimated that Grimes could be in an area of 7,000 square nautical miles, roughly the size of Massachusetts, but it was accurate enough to direct the rescue helicopter to his location. The success of this rescue is a testament to the dedication of the Coast Guard to serving the American people in times of distress. How often does this happen? Going overboard on a cruise ship is a rare and tragic event. According to statistics from the Cruise Lines International Association, in 2019, 25 people fell overboard and only 9 of them were rescued. In some cases, alcohol is a factor, as cruise ships often offer an all-inclusive drink package that encourages drinking on board. This was the case with a 22-year-old man who fell off a Royal Caribbean cruise ship in December 2016 after a night of heavy drinking. His parents sued the cruise line, but a jury decided in favor of the company. Falling from a ship into a vast sea is a passenger's worst nightmare, and while the chances of this happening are remote, it highlights the potential risks of going on a cruise. It's important for the public to be aware of the dangers of going overboard, including being pushed or tempted to jump, as well as other risks. Despite the idyllic and safe image promoted by cruise lines through advertising, it's crucial for passengers to know and understand the potential hazards. In February 2022, a woman aboard the Carnival Valor jumped off the 10th deck of the ship while fleeing security officers who were trying to detain her after she had had a scuffle with them. Her body was never found. Professor of social work at Memorial University in Newfoundland, Ross Klein, states that cruises are viewed as idyllic, safe, and secure, and of course those views are reinforced by advertising and public statements. However, it's important for the public to be aware of the risks of going on a cruise, as these include being pushed overboard, going overboard, and being tempted to jump overboard. So, what are your thoughts about the events that happened to James Grimes? Let us know in the comments section down below. And if you enjoyed today's content, make sure to like, subscribe, and click the notification bell so you don't miss any of our new videos. See you in the next video. Until then, take care, and thanks for watching.